Hi friends, welcome back once again to another of my videos, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today's video is titled Attempting to Give You Life Advice. In this video, I basically read some of your life problems or stuff that you're going through in your personal lives, obviously while keeping it anonymous. And I'm going to try and give you my best tips on how you can solve the situation or ease it up a little bit. But before I start this video, I want to make a quick disclaimer, and it is that I'm not a licensed therapist. I did not study. I did not study to give you this advice. I am not licensed to give you this advice. I am not a doctor. If your problem is a really serious one, which some of them are, I recommend you get professional help, seek professional help. But this video is only for entertainment purposes. I'm going to give you the best advice I could ever give to you. So I really hope that you take something, take a good thing out of my advice that I'm going to give you in just a second. Before I get started, I wanted to remind you guys that you should all go subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this video, or if you like my YouTube videos in general, and also make sure that you are following me on Instagram to see more of my day-to-day life, outfits and reviews of products and packages I received, and food, and just day-to-day stuff. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and let's get into it. So the first situation or problem that I stumbled upon, they are 11 in general. The first one is someone that wrote to me and said, "I hate my job and I'm trying so hard to change my life, but it's so hard." I just want to say that I get you 100% with this question. It is not as easy as some people make it seem, oh, you should quit your job, you should start living your dream life. But when you have certain responsibilities, like a house to pay, kids to look out for, food to eat, bills to pay, it's not as easy. So I get you 100% on this one, but I just want to say that success doesn't happen overnight. It is something that builds up with time. And I also want to say that in this case, you should definitely seek professional help, or at least go to a therapist or a psychologist, so that person could tell you a little bit more of what you should do or not do. Because this is something, if you decide on quitting your job, or if you decide to stay on your job, this is something that's going to change your life forever. So I really recommend that you talk to a therapist about your specific situation, make a list of pros and cons of quitting your job or not, and just seek that help and listen to their advice, since they are the ones who are capable of giving you advice that will really change your life. Decisions that you make will change your life forever. But in the meantime, what you could do now, in my opinion, is to use your free time wisely. When you are not in when you're not in the job, when you're not doing your job because you got out early, or you just got out in general, I recommend that you take that time to research on the internet stuff that you really want to do, or another job opportunity, and see what resonates with you and what will make you happy. Also, make sure to take time to do the things that you love. As a college student myself, I have a lot of responsibilities on my shoulders, but in my free time, I use that time to research video ideas, to be on Instagram, to film YouTube videos, just do stuff that makes me happy on my free time, while I'm still owning up to my professional and school-wise responsibilities. Another thing is that you should maybe go back to college and study something that you like, and maybe along the way an opportunity will arise and you have the qualifications to start doing that job. And my last tip for you is to go out and search for people that are going through a similar situation as you. Join therapy groups, talk to your friends about it that you may think that they're going through the exact same situation, or at least a little bit different, but just try to get advice from other people and ask them how they learned to cope with it. Maybe look up other people's opinions or situations on Google, on Yahoo Answers, just to give you that ease that you're not alone in this world, and that you're not the first nor you're going to be the last person that deals with that situation. So the next question or situation is money. How to save and not spend, and what places should I go to buy cute and cheap clothes? Well, I have a video up for you guys that I did a couple of months ago, and it's all about how I save money as a young adult without working a full-time job or a part-time job or whatever. So I'm going to link it on the cards right here on the screen so you guys would check it out. That video has a lot of views, and I believe that that video contains literally all my secrets on how I save money and like real ways that you can do it too. And the other part of the question is how can, or like where could you buy clothes that are not like expensive, that are cheap and cute? Well, that's always what I look for. So one store that I recommend is obviously Marshall's. There are a lot of like great brands that Marshall sells from or whatever, and they are a pretty decent price. And another store that I recommend for you to buy clothes from is Macy's. It's not really that expensive. Well, yes it is, but like there are many clothes or many items that have like a clearance ticket or whatever, or like a clearance section, and you can definitely check that out. But the top two places that I get cute and cheap clothes are from Marshall's and from Macy's. So really hope that helps. So number 3 is a really possessive guy likes me, and I like this other guy, which is a call for disaster. And I just gotta say and take it out of the way, like it makes me like super mad that this is happening to you, or like this is a real situation, like this possessive guy, like what the bleep. It makes me so mad to see a woman like go through this. Like I hate it so much, but I just have to say that you should definitely know, and I'm telling you right now, if you don't know this, but you do not belong to a person. You only belong to yourself. Like you're not a toy, you're not a trophy, you are your own person, and you will never belong to someone except yourself. Like you only belong to yourself. Like that thing about a guy being possessive, like it's a no. You don't belong to anyone, and I really want to make this message clear to you. I also want to say that if that possessive guy, like if it gets violent, make sure to seek professional help. Call the police, go to your parents, go to a professional adult, go to an adult that could help you. Like literally seek for help, because like you don't need that in your life, and those situations can turn like really quickly into like a tragedy. So I do not want that to happen to you. So just if it goes like too far, make sure that you call 911 and like put a restraining order on him, or just do something. Just do not try to like cope with it on your own, because it's gonna end bad. And for the second part of this question, which is I like this other guy, well honestly you have the right to love anyone you want. Like I said, you don't belong to someone. You have the right to love whichever person you like. You do not have to love that possessive guy. You can like the other guy you like, and he has to be okay with it. And one thing that I also want to do is that you do not need to feel sorry for anyone who doesn't approve of the person you like. Like no, you love whoever you want to love, and you have to be happy with who you choose and with your life. Like don't try to like focus on what other people think, or like whatever person it may affect. Like you are your own person. You have your own rights to do whatever you want with your life. So that other guy can just like, I don't want to say bad words, but you know what I mean. He could just go like goodbye. So another question is, how can I make friends in a new country? And then another person said like, how can you make friends in general? So to answer the first question, like how do you make friends in a new country, I suggest that you should start learning that country's language so you can better communicate and make friends with other people. It is not a necessity, but I think you should, because like not only you should learn that country's language to find friends, but just like to communicate in general. So I like the number one thing I recommend for you guys to do is to learn that country's language and like the majority of or like the language the majority of the people in that country speak in. So you can also get involved in your community, maybe like enroll in a yoga class, enroll in a painting class, just like any class or any community that you find yourself attracted to. And because it's going to be like a class or a community, it's not only going to be for I'm sorry. What I was saying was that it's not going to be only for you. Like, there are a lot of people that are going to take the same class as you, and you will know that that person likes the same thing as you, and maybe you can have that specific class or that specific passion to bond over. And another thing that I want to say is that you can just be yourself. I mean, that pretty much explains it all. Just be yourself and don't force yourself to try to make new friends, because if you force yourself or put like a timeline of, well, I should have this friend by a week from now, and if not, then I'm gonna change. Like, no, like you should always be yourself and don't force any relationship, because if you force a certain kind of relationship, you as a person are going to change in order to like comply with what they desire or want you to be. So it's important for you to like stay true to yourself and stay real to you instead of other people. All I'm trying to say is to let the friendships come naturally. So the next question is, how can I find my own style? So to answer this question, I honestly do not think I have a certain or specific style. I literally just go to the mall, go online, and look for clothes that are eye-catching and that I like. Like, I do not search like boho clothes or tomboy clothes. Like, no, I just literally buy the things that I like and see that I like. Like, I don't consider myself to have a certain style or a specific style, and if it's not that style, I don't buy it. Like, I do not do that. So just like go out, search on the internet, surf the internet, and just buy the stuff that are eye-catching to you and that you find pretty. And another tip that is really, really important is that you should always try your clothes that you're going to buy first. Like, if you're at the mall, don't just go eye something and then buy it. Like, literally take the time to go to a place where you can put it on and like see how it looks on you, so you would know like it fits perfectly and that you are actually going to wear it. Another question is how to thrive in school. Well, the first tip that I want to say to you is that you should always, like, from the start of day one, you should always be on top of all your homeworks and studies. Like, do the work now and not leave it for the next day. Although I really need to apply that, but we're working on it. Another thing is that you should start studying, or at least organizing like your week of how you're going to study before, like 1 week before the test or quiz or homework is actually due, so you have the time to like not work under pressure and actually do things right. And if you have any questions, you could go to the professor or teacher to ask them your doubts. And the last thing that I want to say is that you should always do what you can. Do not put like unrealistic expectations or strive to perfection, because let me break it to you, nothing is perfect. You are not perfect, I am not perfect, your parents are not perfect. Like, do not put unrealistic expectations and then break down because you didn't comply with them. Like, do what you can and do not put your mental health and physical health at risk. Okay, so the next situation is a little bit long and I'm going to read it to you, and it says, when I met my friend, let's call her Abby, she was really full of sunshine and always positive, and I really loved having her around, but now she is depressed because of personal problems, and since I moved to another country, she doesn't care to call me or text me even though we were really close, and I do not know how to help her because I've never had anyone close to me be depressed. I tried texting her, but she just leaves it as seen. However, I would delightfully take your advice. So this one is like really intense, but I have to say that maybe she's depressed, and I'm pretty sure that she's depressed because of something that happened in her life, like something really bad might have happened to her, or maybe like she's just depressed because depression doesn't have to be like rooted to something. You could literally just be happy one day and then depressed on the other, like it's something in your mind. But in her occasion, I think you probably said that it was something that went down on her life. So know that and do not feel guilty about it or take it personal that she like leaves your messages as seen. She is dealing like with God knows what situation, so please do not take it personal that she does not respond to you. Like, give her time. And another thing is that if you feel like her parents are supportive, maybe try to reach out to them and explain the situation so they could take action and take her to a doctor or a therapist, since this is a serious situation that requires professional help. So if you think that your friend's life is at risk, then you should definitely speak out and try to give her the professional help that she needs. Another thing that I want to say is to just give her time and do not feel guilty about it. Don't feel like sad about it. Do not take it personal and just like try to make her see a professional and just be around her, or like just be available if one day like a message pops out on your screen and it is from her. Just like do not hold any kind of resentment because she doesn't answer your text and then one day like she does. Like, just be there for her because I'm pretty sure she's going through a horrible situation and like it's not easy. Next question. I am a shy person and I want to go out, explore, and find myself a job, but I do not know. It's like I'm scared. I have always been with my mom and dad and I'm afraid to do things alone, like finding a job, etc. So I get this 100% because I was literally you a few years ago. Like, I didn't want to order anything on any fast food. I didn't want to go to the mall and interact with the cashier, like nothing at all. But my best friend, like a girl best friend, she was like the exact same opposite as what I was, and I became like super great friends with her. She's my best friend now, and she literally just helped me like loosen up a little bit and not take life too seriously. So I like all the props go to her for making me a more social person. Like, I always tell this to her and she gets like super happy. And one thing that had helped me crack this shell that I was inside of was to realize that people, like other people, are just like you. They have friends, they have family, they have siblings, they went to school, like they have life problems as well. Like, do not visualize other people as different. Like, you're all equal, you're all going through the same stuff. Maybe they think the same way about you. Like, just view them as people because that's what they are. Like, they are not superior than you and you're not inferior. You're not superior than them and they're not inferior than you. Like, just visualize them as just that. People with a whole bunch of situations that you don't know of, and they're literally not gonna eat you or like kill you or anything. They're just people. And when you realize this, you will have no trouble speaking out or communicating, whether to find a job or solving any kind of situation. That's my biggest take on your situation. Like, my biggest advice is for you to visualize people as just that, people. I hope you understand the message that I'm trying to get across, because that literally changed my whole life. Like, to just shift to that mindset of knowing that people are just like you. They have their own stuff that they're worrying about. They have another problem that you may not have, or the other way around, but we are all trying to make it in this world. So another question is, my two best friends hate each other and are trying to make me choose between them. What should I do? Well, you should just speak to both of them and make it clear that you do not want to be part of this situation that they have between them two. Like, you do not have to choose between any one of them and they should be okay with it. Like, don't let them force you to choose between them, because that's only gonna make things worse for the other person and for you. So speak to them like clearly and say like, no, like, you need to like solve that issue and I'm not going to choose between any of you. I'm going to speak to both of you normally. I don't care if you hate each other. I love you both, and just because you guys hate each other doesn't mean that I have to choose one over the other. Just like, no, make sure that they know that. Like, they should work on their own problems without involving you in the picture. Like, if they are mature, they will understand this, and they'll realize like, yeah, like, you're right, like, I shouldn't like force you to choose between us. Like, it's our problem and we just need to solve it, and it's not your problem, so why am I going to involve you? If they're mature, like, they're going to understand. So the next question is, how do I get my parents to stop fighting all the time? Well, one advice that I could give you is to sit down with them and talk to them and express your feelings. They're your parents. I suppose that they love you. And the first step is to talk to them, whether it is both of them in the living room or your mom and dad, like one in one room and one in the other. Just like talk to them both and express what you're feeling. And they're adults, they're supposed to know that this stuff hurts you as their child. So I'm pretty sure they'll understand and like tone it down a little bit, or maybe just like have the fights not in front of you. And if it doesn't work, you should reach out to maybe your grandma, granddad, or uncle and aunts that know your parents personally and explain the situation and ask if they can help by speaking to them, because maybe they think of you like, oh, you're just a kid, like, you shouldn't be part of any of this, like, I don't want to hear it from you, like, no. But then in that situation, you can definitely like reach out to an adult person that know your parents, or maybe like they don't, and have them have a conversation about how you feel. Like, let the adults and the other adults like talk to each other and solve things in a mature way, and have like another adult like represent you. And the next and final question is, how do I deal with my anxiety? Well, the first thing I always do is just like, the first advice I always give is to seek out for professional help, a therapist, a doctor. Like, if you are anxious because you have a certain condition, like, I'm not the person who can tell you like what condition that is or how to treat it. Like, if you realize that it is something more than just like a phase, then, or like a certain event, like, you definitely need to seek out for professional help. So I want to make that clear before I start giving you like some tips. And one thing that you could actually do to help and tone that anxiety down is to focus on only one thing. Like, if you have a whole bunch of things that you have to do before a certain date and it's giving you like major anxiety, make sure to write them all on a list, all your thoughts, all the things that you have to do, and choose only one thing to focus on, like every day or every week, or just like every minute, every hour. Just like try to solve things one by one, and that way you don't have like a cluster of emotions and like your emotions all over the place, because you know you have to do like a bunch of stuff. Like, just like focus on one thing and things will get better, and you will actually be like more productive and get over it. And I also want to say that time still passes by. Like, the sun is always going to shine the next day. Like, every day is an opportunity for you to start anew, to start fresh. And that has helped me like visualize life and every day as an opportunity to change and become a better person. Like, every day the sun will always come out and shine, and then at the night it's going to go down, and then the next day it's going to go up again. Like, just realize that time doesn't stop for you nor anyone else. Like, the sun is not gonna be like, ooh, like, this person is having like a horrible day, let me just stop shining, let me just like stop time for a second and let her like solve this. Like, no, like, time is still gonna pass by through you. The sun is always going to shine. So make sure that you know that like the world doesn't stop because something bad happened to you. So just realize that and take things slow, take things with enough patience, and obviously focus on yourself as well. Maybe you will have to take a break or have a self-care night, self-care day, self-care routine, and that is okay. Like, focus on yourself first, like I already said, and then focus on others. So that is it for this life advice video. I really hope that you all enjoyed it. If you want me to do like more of these types of videos of like advice and stuff, like you should definitely reach out to me via DM or via email and explain the situation, and if I have like a lot of them from you guys, then I can make a part 2 of this video. But yeah, I really hope that you all enjoyed my advice. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, and also make sure that you are following me on Instagram to see more of my day-to-day life. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!